Everyone tells you to scale your agency to 7 figures, but that's a complete lie. I had a $500,000 AI agency and it was slowly killing my business. In this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you why we ditched our AI agency to pursue software and the new value ladder that we're implementing to make more money with 90% less headaches. So let me take you back to where this all started. 2 years ago, we launched OmniFusion AI as a done-for-you AI agency. The concept was simple. We build AI sales agents for coaches and consultants to automate their sales process from start to finish. And honestly, it worked. We were charging $5,000 to $8,000 per project. We had a waiting list, and on paper, everything looked great. We hit $500,000 in revenue faster than I could have ever imagined. But here's what nobody tells you about running a high-ticket agency. The agency model, despite the great revenue, was destroying everything that we built, and I'm about to break down the real problems. The first problem with the agency was that client deliverables were killing us. Every single client wanted something custom, and although we had systems, every client thought that their business was special and that they needed something different. We used to spend weeks on custom integrations, hand-holding, calls, and making sure that everything was perfect for one single client. And you can probably relate to this, but there were many times where a 2-week project ended up being a 2-month project just because of these factors. Which brings me to problem number 2, which is that it's just not scalable. If you keep on adjusting your delivery timelines because of all of these different factors, that is not a solid foundation to build a scalable business on. We could have just raised prices, but even then, growing a team for an agency is a massive headache. Every new client needs some specialized knowledge, and training new team members just takes a ton of time. And because of this, we were trapped in a high revenue but a low profit cycle, which is a very bad position to be in. Which brings me to problem number 3, which is more of a personal one. The stress of an agency becomes pretty unbearable. Because when you're charging $8,000, clients expect perfection. One small little bug or integration issue would cause hours of calls with either the development team or the client themselves. And the position that I found myself in was constantly putting out fires instead of actually building the business. And problem number 4 is probably the biggest one, because we were leaving real cold hard cash on the table. Because while we were focused on delivering maybe 20 to 30 agency clients, we had all of these people begging us for our tools and systems that we use for our clients. But we simply couldn't serve them because we were so occupied and busy with all of the agency work that we had going on. But the real turning point came when we actually looked at our numbers. Yes, we were doing $500,000 in revenue, but our profit margins were terrible. Between the team costs, client management, and the constant firefighting we had to do, we were basically working 80-hour weeks for what amounts to a decent salary. And meanwhile, we were getting DMs from people who were saying they can't afford our agency service but would love our help with their sales systems. And that's when it hit me. We were sitting on a gold mine and simply ignoring it. So we ended up designing a new value ladder, and instead of starting with our most expensive service that gave us the most headaches and took the longest to deliver at the very bottom, we ended up flipping everything around. So let me walk you through this new model right here so that you can take away valuable insights for your business. So at the very bottom, we have our SaaS tools. These are priced between $39 and $149 per month, and those include DM Tracker, which is launching this week, which is an Instagram sales CRM, and Auto IGDM, which is our tool for Instagram cold outreach. The key point with this value ladder is that the SaaS tools at the bottom can serve thousands of customers without additional headaches. We built the software once and it can serve all of these clients' needs. And by having these offers at the bottom of our funnel, we can service people at a reasonable price point but deliver excellent results without all the additional headaches. And because these SaaS tools are both relevant to sales on Instagram, it serves the entire remaining value ladder, which we're gonna get into now. Which brings me to the next portion of the value ladder, which is the education aspect. Our DMs are bombarded with business owners who want to know what kind of services we provide at the agency level, what systems and processes we use, and how they can use them in their own business, but they don't want to pay for the agency service. This is where the education comes in, priced at $790 to $1,790. And this education service is going to teach business owners who do sales on Instagram how to implement automation and AI into their sales process and use what we have successfully done with hundreds of clients with the agency in their own business at a much lower price point. And the awesome part is everybody who is interested in the SaaS and becomes a customer of the SaaS is doing sales on Instagram and potentially has a sales team, which is why the education makes so much sense. And the principle that I mentioned about us being able to sell it as many times as we want for the SaaS also applies for the education, because we can sell it 50 times or we can sell it 200 times. The value for every customer will be the same and there's no additional headache on our side. Which brings me to the final point, which is the AI agency, but it becomes a selective AI agency. What I mean by this is we'll still be charging $8,000 to $10,000 for these implementations, but we are only going to pick our favorite customers from the first 2 steps to bring them into step number 3. This means we can pick clients who have proven that they're willing to take what we say and implement it into their business. And we can pick the ones that we really do want to work with, which fit our use case as well, where we don't need to build out 20 new integrations. By having it set up this way, we can have our dream agency clients while making money in the front end of the funnel and only working with people we actually want to work with. And then I guess you could even add a 5th step, which would be consulting, which would be charged at $20,000 or higher. The beautiful part about this is that certain companies that we work with at the agency level need higher level consulting because it goes beyond just Instagram sales. Implementing AI into your business is something that can be done at any intersection in your business. And that's where this consulting comes in, because we have a lot of valuable insights to share from these last 2 years of building this company. So we are currently in the middle of this transition, but we're already seeing amazing results. The M Tracker, as I mentioned, is being launched this week, which is going to be beautiful. We already have over 50 people on the wait list, excited to start using the tool, and that's from one single email to our existing email list. That means there's no affiliate marketing and nothing else done for the software yet. It's a completely closed launch, meaning a limited number of people are going to be aware that it even exists. We've stopped taking agency clients for now, so when you go to our website, you can no longer book in a call. We are fully booked, and you need to fill out a form so that we can only pick the ones that we really want to work with. We're currently building out our education program, and the beautiful thing about it is that it basically builds itself. Because over the past 2 years, we've learned so many things and worked with so many companies that providing value for $790 is just incredibly easy. Which brings me back to one of the problems that I mentioned earlier, which is our stress levels. And those are already looking much better because we finally have some time to breathe, come up with new things, work on content, and plan our next moves, which is something that we really enjoy doing when you compare it to all of this agency work. But here's the most important part. We're about to help exponentially more people succeed in business. Because instead of gating all the knowledge that we have behind an $8,000 price tag, we're about to make it much more accessible so that more people can succeed. So if you're running an agency or thinking of starting one, here's something for you to consider. High ticket and high revenue does not always mean high profit, and it doesn't always mean life satisfaction. Don't be afraid of ripping apart your old business model to build something new and better, because when you leave your comfort zone is when real growth happens. Yes, it was scary for us to do this transition, but it felt right, and that's why we did it anyways. So if this video helped you think differently about your business model, feel free to let me know in the comments down below and subscribe to the channel for future videos like this one. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.